The internet exploded after a surprising video began making the rounds. It showed Chrissy Lampkin, Jim Jones's longtime partner, caught in a private moment with rapper Cam'ron. The footage, though grainy, clearly showed them sitting closely, in a dim VIP area, laughing and talking in a way that looked far too familiar. The moment Chrissy placed her hand briefly on Cam's chest and smiled widely made people question what was really going on. It didn't take long for the video titled, "Chrissy Caught on Camera with Cam'ron" to spread everywhere. Jim Jones reportedly saw the video at home and was stunned. Sources close to him say he watched it several times in disbelief before throwing his phone across the room and walking out without a word. Hours later, he returned, looking emotionally drained and clearly hurt. This wasn't just about a possible betrayal. It felt like a public slap in the face. Seeing someone he deeply trusted getting cozy with one of his closest friends, someone who had also been a rival at times, was unbearable. As expected, social media went wild. Old videos resurfaced, clips from reality shows and interviews where fans now believed there were signs, hints of flirtation between Chrissy and Cam that everyone had missed. People were dissecting body language from years ago, convinced there had always been something off. While fans analyzed every detail, Jim was unraveling. Insiders shared that he spent the night pacing, watching the video repeatedly and trying to figure out when things had started to fall apart. In a call with his mother, Nancy Jones, he reportedly broke down, saying, "I don't even know who she is anymore." Nancy, always quick to defend her son, urged him not to let anyone make a fool out of him. That conversation seemed to light a fire in Jim. The next day, Jim disappeared from social media. No posts, no responses, nothing. This silence made fans nervous, thinking he was planning something serious. He tried to reach Cam'ron, called, texted, but got no reply. According to someone in Jim's circle, he wasn't even mad at Chrissy at first. He just wanted Cam to explain why he would do something like that. But Cam's lack of response made things worse. Then, Cam'ron added fuel to the fire. In a leaked DM reply to a fan, he laughed off the drama, saying, "Jim acting like I snatched his chick. She grown." That message blew up instantly. Fans began tagging Jim nonstop. Within minutes, it had gone viral. When Jim saw it, he reportedly lost it. He grabbed his keys, told a few people they needed to talk in person, and headed straight for a Harlem studio where Cam was working. Jim didn't answer calls, even Chrissy's. Witnesses said he looked like a man who had already made up his mind. He walked straight into the studio without knocking. Cam was mid-session, joking with friends, totally unaware. Jim walked straight up to him and punched him in the face. The room went silent for a second before chaos broke out. Cam stepped back, confused, asking what was going on. But Jim wasn't finished. He yelled at Cam, accusing him of betrayal, saying, "I trusted you. You were in my home." Cam tried to push him away, but Jim hit him again. Two of Cam's friends had to pull Jim off. Security came in and separated them, but by then the damage was done. Someone in the room had filmed the fight. And just like the Chrissy video, it spread online fast. Fans were in shock. This wasn't a joke. It wasn't a prank. It was real, raw, and public. Some people took Cam's side, others defended Jim, but everyone agreed. Whatever bond Dipset once had, it was over. Jim's anger didn't stop with the fight. Later that day, he went live on Instagram, face bruised, voice still shaking. "I ain't no clown," he said. "Loyalty means everything. If you cross me, it's done." The comments flooded in, fire emojis, heart symbols, and tons of messages praising him for standing up for himself. Meanwhile, Chrissy hadn't said a word. Her silence only made things worse. Fans started turning against her, demanding answers. Was it true? Was she cheating? Why wasn't she denying anything? She vanished from the spotlight, which only made the gossip spread faster. Cam'ron, trying to cool things down, posted a video of himself with his crew, smiling and acting like nothing had happened. "You really believe everything you see online?" he joked. "Come on, that's family." But the bruises on his face told a different story. The internet wasn't buying it. People flooded his comments with snake emojis, clown faces, and accusations. In just a matter of days, a private video had turned into a public meltdown. What started as a shady moment caught on camera had exploded into a full-blown scandal that rocked not just Jim, Chrissy, and Cam, but their fans, followers, and the hip-hop world. The fallout wasn't just about loyalty or betrayal. It exposed how quickly trust can break and how messy things get when the drama spills online. Jim sat quietly for a moment when asked if things could ever be fixed between them. He took a long breath, trying to keep his emotions in check. His fists tightened at his sides as he softly replied, "I don't know. I'm not sure this can be fixed." His voice carried the weight of pain. "How do you come back from this? When the people you trusted most, your wife and your best friend, betray you? Can you ever trust again?" "I don't think I can." Chrissy's eyes welled up with tears. "Jim, please," she said, her voice trembling. "I never wanted to hurt you. I really thought I could handle it, but I was wrong. This should have never gone this far. I'm sorry." Her apology came too late. The tension in the room was thick, and the audience didn't know who to support anymore. Some leaned toward Jim, others felt for Chrissy. No matter which side they were on, the pain between them was hard to ignore. Even the harshest critics could feel the emotional weight in the air. Cameron stayed quiet for a while, letting the moment speak for itself. Then, with a calm but clear tone, he said, "I get it, man. I really do. But this isn't my fight anymore. You two need to figure this out without me." He stood up, adjusted his jacket, and walked off the set, leaving Jim and Chrissy behind as the cameras kept rolling. The host stepped in to wrap up the intense segment. What we've seen today is real. A raw moment between three people tangled in betrayal and heartbreak. Jim, Chrissy, and Cameron have opened up their lives to us. But now the big question is, can any of this be repaired? Or is this the end of not just a friendship, but maybe even their relationships? Chrissy sat still, hands folded tightly in her lap, while Jim stood several feet away with his eyes fixed on the floor. Neither of them moved nor spoke. Both were deep in thought, carrying the heavy burden of their choices. The room remained quiet, everyone wondering if this was the final chapter or if somehow they'd find a way back. In the days that followed, the internet exploded. Social media users picked sides. Many believed Jim deserved better, while others sympathized with Chrissy and understood how complicated relationships can get. One thing was clear: this was more than just a personal fallout. It was a very public mess that people couldn't stop talking about. Jim's vague social media posts added to the mystery. Some believed he was teasing his next move, while others thought he might be planning to get even. Chrissy, in contrast, stayed offline, and her silence only made people more curious. Cameron, however, posted a cryptic message: "The truth comes out when it's ready. I'm just along for the ride." That one sentence was enough to get fans speculating again. People began asking, would Jim confront Cameron one last time? Could Chrissy make things right? Or was this the end of it all? As things between Jim and Cameron grew worse, media coverage intensified. Each day brought a new twist. Jim, usually quiet, began speaking out about how he felt. His fans started worrying that he was reaching his breaking point. The whole thing began with a single post. Cameron, known for being unpredictable, suddenly dropped a mysterious statement on his page. "It's never about just one person. You think you know, but you really don't." That sentence stirred up a frenzy. Soon after, old photos emerged, online, showing Cameron and Chrissy looking much closer than anyone expected. They weren't ordinary pictures. They hinted at something deeper, something that had been kept out of sight for years. People immediately started speculating. Some believed Chrissy and Cameron had been secretly involved for a long time. Others thought Jim had been completely blindsided. Theories ran wild, and the situation became harder to follow by the day. With the spotlight firmly on her, Chrissy could no longer stay quiet. But instead of calming things down, her vague message only made things worse. "Life throws things at you that you don't see coming," she posted. "Sometimes you lose control. I've been through a lot, and I don't have all the answers. I just want peace. Hurting anyone was never my goal." Her words left everyone guessing. Was she trying to distance herself from the mess? Was she genuinely sorry? People were split. Some believed her. Others weren't so sure. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get messier, Cameron stirred the pot again. He uploaded a short video of himself walking through a hallway, laughing. "You all think you know what's happening, but trust me, this is only the beginning," he said with a smirk. "Sometimes the ones you trust most aren't who they pretend to be, and by the time you figure it out, the damage is already done." His message caused a storm. Had he just revealed there was more to the story? What secrets was he hinting at? Theories flooded social media again. Everyone had a take, but no one really knew what was true. The next day, everything reached a boiling point. Rumors spread fast. Jim and Cameron were going to meet in person. A final face-to-face. No more cryptic posts or indirect comments. Just the two of them, in the same room, ready to confront the Ayabar truth. Jim had already made it clear he wasn't going to back down. He wanted answers. Cameron, on the other hand, had been acting like he still held the upper hand, like he had one last card to play. The tension was unbearable. Fans didn't know whether the meeting would lead to closure or make things even worse. Reporters gathered. Cameras were set up. Fans waited anxiously. Everyone wanted to know if the conversation would stay civil or erupt into more chaos. And there was one more question on everyone's mind. Chrissy. She was expected to be there too, but what would she do? Try to calm things down or step back and let them sort it out? Nobody knew for sure.